All right. Okay. KW is going to start putting out a quarterly magazine. They've done it for quarter 1, which is called like the winter magazine. It's basically seasonal. Think about it that way. And supposedly here soon, we're going to be seeing the spring one as well. Okay. I don't have an ETA on that. So, but I do think it's coming very soon. So if anything, practice on this one. And then we're probably getting something new within the coming week or two. That'll be the spring, quarter 2 magazine. Okay. The way we can use this is a couple different ways. One is you could print it, and there are people that have done that, right? They can print a PDF file and send it over to Kinko's and have like a little magazine printed. And they're actually like putting mailing labels on it and sending it out to clients. So you could actually go through very similar as like American Lifestyle magazine, right? And that's what this was kind of created off of, is to give you guys some content that you can then customize. I have done something here on my website, which I've talked about in a couple of my other classes, which is I've actually created that magazine, downloaded it as a PDF, and used a tool I will show you today to actually make it digital. And you can see that here, right? So the magazine that I created is now hosted on my website, and a consumer could come on here that I direct to this, and they can start to thumb through, right, the magazine on my actual website itself. I don't know if you guys can hear it. There's actually sounds of pages turning. Okay. So that's the idea behind this. A lot of this content in here, you can see, is all from KW. And then they've given us some different placeholders, like a featured listing, where you could actually take one of your listings and stick it in there, right? If you have a really great listing, there's one that's featured listings. I'll show you the different templates that we can use. And so if you have multiple listings and you want to highlight all 6 or 7 of your listings from the month, you could go ahead and do that. I also want you to realize this is a book, right? But we can use any of these pages that we want by themselves. I could go in and download pages 3 to 7 as a PDF. So if I really liked this and I wanted to use this as a featured listings, as a post somewhere, I could do that, right? So just keep that in mind. I think this is very versatile. Any questions before we get going on kind of what we're doing and what the end goal is today? Is anyone here to learn something? Not else, right? We'll create it, but does anyone else have any ideas or things like that that we can discuss? Nope. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to create the magazine itself, right? So where are we going to do that? What is the applet in command where we create marketing materials, both social, print, and email? Designs. Right. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to look for designs, click on that applet, and we're going to get here. Now, while we're here, just really fast, because some of you guys are on my trainings often, they've moved out of here something. What is moved out of designs? Anybody notice?
The landing pages or the website.
Correct. Yep. So all of the website stuff they had put in here for some reason, I think it was very confusing to people, that has all been taken out and it's back into the consumer applet, right? Where you can edit pages down there. So now this is truly just like designs. And I like that better, right? Print, email, and we can do some of that video marketing. So for this marketing piece, the magazine itself, to create something new in designs, we click this plus button in the bottom right-hand corner. It is in the print side. All right. If you go to the social side, you're not going to find it. So I'm going to click on print. Print will highlight that Kelly blue. And then I'm going to go ahead here and click on next. All right. And that'll take us into designs and is going to show me all of the available print options that I can then create. Everybody good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So up here, I see it right here, actually. I think it's because I was just in it a moment ago. This is where it's listed. Over here on the left-hand side, we are going to see these different topics, right? And we'll click on one of those in a second. I want to show this, though, why we're here in designs, which is brand assets. This is worthwhile, and this is something you only need to do one time, which is if I click on brand assets, I can go in here and I can upload my logos, right? My KW logos that I've saved to my computer. I can upload my headshot, right? Or my picture in here. And then the nice thing about that is every time I create a marketing piece, I can just pull those in from my brand assets section, right? I don't need to upload them every time I'm creating a design piece. Okay.
Yep.
Once you do that, again, you kind of come back, we're in this templates tab, and that's where you usually land. We're going to go to, I just want to show you where it is. We're going to go to lead generation. Okay, so we're going to go to the lead generation section. The last one down here, it says personally branded. And you're going to go ahead and click on that. And it opens up this screen here where we now see the magazine. Everybody good on navigating to get to the magazine?
Yep.
All right. You'll do the exact same thing. There'll probably be 2 of them here, right? So you're going to see another version at some point. It'll be listed in the same category. So as long as we get to this one, we'll be able to get to all the future ones as well. All right. If I hover over top of the magazine, right, a few buttons here. One, I could download it just the way it is, which is not really what we want to do. Okay. So we're going to actually click on this use button in the top right-hand corner, and that will open up the design editing tool to allow us to now start customizing.
Kyle, it's probably stupid. When I pull mine up, is that magazine there, or was it here on yours because you were playing with it before?
It's there. That's just, this is the
Okay.
template version. So everyone should have that version.
It'll
That
be-
we're all working off of the same thing right now.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
All right, I want to go over this page really fast because if you guys don't pay attention here, you're going to cause yourself a bunch of headaches. And it's better just to pay attention to this one. All right, a couple people just jumping in the room. Make sure everyone's here. Andy, okay. All right. Those that are coming in a little bit late, designs, we went to designs. We went to the print side of designs, lead generation, and we were able to find our magazine. Now that I'm here, let's go over this real quick. This on the left-hand side is what I call the tray. All right, it's what I'm scrolling through right now. These are all the possible pages that you could have in your magazine. And what we're going to do is we're going to add them by clicking the little plus button here over into this section in the middle, and that's going to start to build out our magazine. The reason I say that is you may not want all, there's 16 pages here. You may not want all of them, right? You may not want a page that's talking about say goodbye to the winter blues. So if you wanted to, you could just select 8 of these 16 pages and kind of create what you want, right? Your own little booklet. Once you add them in one time, do not go back over here and click on add a new page to edit it, right? So what I mean by that is, and I'll show you here, we're going to start adding them. Once you add it in once, leave this alone over here, because every time you go over and you click this plus button or you click on this document, it adds another version of that page again, right? Now you got 3 pages of the same thing. Okay. What you really want to focus on down here at the very bottom, it's a little bit hidden, and that's why we're looking at it. There is a toolbar and it says pages with a little up arrow. I like to click that, and we're going to start to see a thumbnail of all of our magazine. And this is how you can toggle to different pages so you can go back in and edit. Okay, so stay away from this after the initial ad, and we're going to navigate to our pages down here below. Okay, all right, so let me drop this down. And the first thing I'm going to do is go back up to the top. You guys still there?
Yep.
All right, sorry about that. My Zoom just went out on me. All right, let's get back to here, refocus. So I got all these different pages here, right? We're going to start with the top one. Where did I go out? Did you guys hear what I said there?
We didn't.
No.
We went out. You just told us to scroll down the left and see the pages. We may not want to use all of them.
Okay, did I talk about this bottom tray down here?
No.
Okay.
No.
This bottom tray down here is how you're going to navigate between the different pages that you pull in. Okay, so if you only use 8 of them, and you're going to have the 8 down here below, this is how you can reorder those pages. Okay, and I'll show you how we're going to do that, but also how you get back to a page that you've already started editing. If you go back to over here, you're adding in a new fresh copy again. So add the first time and then stay away from this left-hand tray. So let's go up to the top. I want this. I want the front page. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. Okay, click that little plus button. You can see it brings it over now, and it brings it over into the middle of my screen so I can start editing this. Here's the way I like to do this. I like to go through and add all the different pages that I want to use and then push this tray back in. So I come in and I say, yeah, I would like to add a little note right into this magazine. So I'm going to add that one. Scroll down, year in review. All right, so this one here is like a bunch of stats. Let's say I'm skipping that one. So I'm going to leave that one out. Real estate resolutions. Yep, I like that article. So I'm going to add this page. Okay, this is the next page of that article. I'll add that page so that everything makes sense. This looks like the last page of that article. Let's go ahead and add that one. Okay, I like that featured listing page. Let's go ahead and add that one. And then maybe I want to skip over the, the projects. Well, maybe I want to add these in. So let's do projects to tackle in the winter, springtime. We'll add this one. All right, maybe I don't want to do one all about me, or I don't have any success stories. I skip that. No winter blues. Let's say I want to feature some of my listings though. So I add this page. And then let's get to a point where maybe the back of my magazine or the last page is going to be about my mobile app. Add that one in.
Hey, Kyle, your hottest winter listings, do they have to be all yours?
Nope.
Okay.
Now, let me show you. So now down below here in the tray, you see how it says 11 of 11.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to push this back in. All right. I don't want to mess with that anymore. So now what I'm going to do is on the pages section below, here are all the pages of my magazine. Okay. The first one is always blank because it has to have a placeholder. So what I do is I come and click this little down arrow and click the trash can and delete that first page that's basically blank, right? So I'll say yes. And now I'm down to these pages here, which are the ones that I added in. Questions?
So sorry, I missed the last thing you said. So the first page that was like loading, you deleted it?
Yeah, so there's a little down arrow here on the pages, and you can click that and click the little trash can. It'll delete that page.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So now, this is how I can toggle and go to all the different pages here. Okay, and now becomes customization, right? So now this is where you're going to spend a little bit of time. It might take you 30 minutes, a half an hour even, to go in and customize some of this. Now remember, some of these pages like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are templated. There's nothing I need to customize on those. Those are the articles that KW has written for me. But any sort of cover, I want to look at that. A note from an agent is something that's coming from me. I obviously need to customize that. A featured listing, and then maybe hottest winter listings. So those are the pages that I need to go spend some time on and put some customization into. So let's go ahead and do that. Just a question in the chat. For the people who will be printing, I think the number of pages needs to be multiples of 4, right? Yeah, so there's different print requirements. I think one of them is a page of 4, so you can actually make a booklet. It's a great point. Thank you for that. All right, so first page, let's go click on that one. All right, so what needs to be customized on this front page here?
Your
The logo, yeah. Nice.
What'd you say, Jan?
the KWDBA name and your name and office name and all that.
Okay, so up top here, this header, right? These are just placeholders for information. So KWDBA. I want you guys to watch this. If I click on this logo, this is a new update now from Designs. I think this is all working a lot nicer. If I click on the logo, out come my logos that I uploaded in, which I showed you in that first step of going to my assets and putting them in, right?
Right.
So if I wanted to, I could click on my KW Fairfax Gateway logo, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is. I've got it on the screen.
Oh my God, that's so easy.
In addition to that, let me go back, right? And we go back to what it said, DBA. Let's say I click on it there. Let's say you don't have any assets here. Notice that there is a My Assets section. There's also a Company section. And if you click on that, we can get all sorts of KW logos that obviously are not specific to your market center, but maybe I just want to use this one, right? I can just hit replace, and then there you go. There it is. Okay. And then there's your logo updated. All right. Over here is a text box. And so if I click on this box right here, I can now edit this information. Two different ways I could do that. I could double click and actually start typing. All right. What I like to do is anytime I click on a text box, there's this tool up here called the Typewriter. This is very important. It makes it very easy to do the text in the design. So I click this Typewriter, and now I can just do Kyle Holleran, right? Come down below that, and I can do KW Fairfax Gateway. Save changes. And there it is now updated on the document itself. Now, all intents and purposes, I'm done on this page, right? Now I'm moving on. Everything on here is now customized. You could, if you wanted to, You could change out the picture. If you wanted to change the picture to something else, you could click on the photo, and over here, you've got all these different libraries of stock photos that KW has provided to you. So if I wanted the front of this magazine to look like this, I could go ahead and do that. I'll keep the one KW's put in there because I like their design taste probably better than mine. And I'm going to leave this just the way it is. The only other thing you need to look at down here is, just like on any other magazine, they're telling you, here's what's involved in this copy of this magazine. So if I did not put in the say goodbye to winter blues, right, I want to come in here and I probably want to edit this to say something like featured listings, right? If I do have that page in my magazine itself. Okay, so same thing. I'll change this and I'll say, check out hottest listings. And I'll hit save changes. And now this bottom line down here makes sense compared to the 8 or 9 pages that I added into my own magazine. Questions?
No, but I'm excited.
All right, one cool tip here I want to tell you. There's a website that I use that is called remove.bg. Some of you guys have seen this before. What does this website do? And you guys remember?
I'm guessing it
Takes the
removes
background out, right?
Yes, Nancy. So it takes the background out of a photo. So let me show you. So if I went here and I said upload image and I went to my computer, Jan, I've got a photo of you on here from our work we did the other day. Can I use that?
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to upload this picture of Jan. All right. And I'm going to load it in. There's the picture of Jan. And now it creates a version of that picture, but takes out the background.
Oh, I know why.
So now I'm going to click download on this image, and I'm going to download this image, which is now a PNG file, meaning that there's no background. It's a transparent background. Okay. And it's saved down here on my computer. I'm going to go back to designs really quickly, right here where we're editing this. And check this out, right? I can add my own photo if I want to. So just like in Canva, you can upload any pictures that you want. And so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to upload, right, this picture right here. Let me do it this way. All right. Oh, maybe not. All right, try that on your side. I don't know why I'm getting this error. Maybe because that file is not the right. Let me see if I got another one in here. But here's what I was trying to show you. Let me go over to my website and go back to this front page. If you can update that properly, here's a picture that I had that it was like a traditional like photography background. And I used that remove.bg and I was able to pull that picture in and then drop my photo there, right? So that it looks good where it's not, I'm not taking up the background and it's squared off. I kind of fall into the picture. So that's how I did that. Any questions on that? All right. So now I'm going to go page for page. So I was on page 1. Now that one's good. It looks good. It's auto saving. I'm going to go to page 2. Okay. So same thing on this one. I need to switch some things out. Now, right here, if I click on this picture, all right, I can go over to the My Assets and there's my headshot, right? Because I uploaded that in up front. So anytime you want to replace something, there's this little 2 circles, right, pointing at each other, which is the replace button. And I can simply come here and say, replace that image. And it drops me into that little box right there. And I can come up here and I need to edit this, right? So a note from Typewriter, I could say Kyle Holleran, right? Save changes. I'd have to change this little logo up here again to be maybe one of the KW logos. There you go. And then this is not my logo for like my team, and I don't have a team logo. So in that case, I could simply highlight that logo and just delete it. Okay. I'm going to delete this out here because I don't need that big paragraph. And here, so dear, current and future clients, this is where I could come in though and write a little blurb about wanted to talk to you about the market right now in Northern Virginia, right? You can make this specific in a couple paragraphs and include that in this page. Save. So I'm now through 2 pages of doing that. Remember 3, we'll just go look at it real quick. If I click on number 3. This one purposefully does not have any logos on it. So I like that. And then in here though, so you got to be careful. Let me show you this because I said there's not a lot of editing to do, and that's actually wrong. If I scroll in this magazine down here, find a wide assortment of LED lights at, and it says insert local provider. So either enter something in there, right? If you have a preferred person, and this might be a great opportunity to reach out to that person and say, hi, this person owns a lighting store in Leesburg. Can I feature your information in my magazine that's going to go out to 250 people this quarter? Right. And maybe put their logo. You could add their logo in there of some sort, right? And even further personalize this part of it. If not, I would just delete it out. Okay. I can highlight the whole text box, delete out to find a person, and just leave it as the LED is the paragraph there. Next page. So you guys get the point here, right? We're not going to go page for page, but everybody good with that aspect of going from each page, and we're going to make those edits.
Yes.
All right, let's go to one of the listing pages here. Let's show you how this could work. So featured listing, number one is if I click on this photo, right, I could add in any picture that I have. So if I have a listing that's upcoming, it's not in the MLS yet, and your photographer sent you photos and you want to include that as a featured listing, then we could go ahead and upload a photo here, right? And bring it into the magazine itself. Now, keep in mind, this may be where, hey, I've got 5 listings coming up and I don't want any of my sellers to get mad that I didn't feature their listing. So you could, if you wanted to, you can come back over here to the template section and I could add in a couple more of this page, right? I could add it again, add it again, add it again. And now I've got 4 featured listing pages in my magazine. Okay. So I'll keep it as 1, but that is a possibility. I've had that question before. So that's one option. And I could simply come in here and, retype the address and the description, schedule a tour, call me at 410-812-4495. The other option here is if this listing is active or it's been in the MLS before, it doesn't necessarily need to be active. It has to be at least active, meaning this will not work in the coming soon status because it's not syndicated out. You do have a little symbol down here in the left corner that says KWLS. I could click on that and I can search for any listing that has been in the MLS basically, right? So let me say 202 Marie Ave. Let's see, pop up. There it is. So 202 Marie Ave, here it is. I can select this listing, right? Which is a great little tool. Everything's kind of syndicating in here. And what's going to happen is all of my photos that I put up in the MLS are actually going to come into this little section here. And instead of uploading photos from my computer, I could use this MLS tool and I could say, hey, you know what? I want that cover photo to be this picture. So replace it. And then there's the picture of my listing in the magazine. And now I'm going to go in and customize, right, the paragraph or whatever it's going to be, but little helpful tool there on bringing in potential pictures. Make sense?
Yep.
So that's that one. Let's keep going a little bit further. Let's go to maybe Jan's point here. So let's say 7. Open this up. All right, that one is generic. That one's generic. And then here's one that's, hot listings. You could do the same thing. I'm not sure it's not letting me open it up right now. Push this up. There it goes. Okay. There it goes. All right. So now I could change this. So Jan, what I would say is, you want to get permission from people, right? If it's in the MLS, like it is public data, so we can use it. But, this might be hottest listings or, I don't know, top sales in Loudoun Gateway, right? And get a couple of agents to allow you to market their listings a little bit. Be careful marketing other agents' listings, especially outside the brokerage without their permission. I don't know, just my own personal opinion there. But if you're farming, right? If you're talking to a certain neighborhood, maybe you look that up. And what usually is the issue, the address, the sales price, the information is public information. Sometimes these pictures is where you get yourself into a little bit of a sticky situation. So you could redesign this page and say most recent sales in Lansdowne, right? And just do a list of properties with prices if that's kind of the target people that you're sending this magazine out to. Okay. Let's say we finish up, right? So my last page here is going to be my mobile app. Change the logo down here. All right, so let's replace it with this one. Oh, I hit add instead of replace. So highlight, replace. Okay. And then here you have a couple options. So it says insert your personal URL. Okay. For a lot of you, I've shown you how to do this, and this is very easy. So if you need help, I'll show you how to do it. But we can actually add a page to your website that is downloading the mobile app. All right, this is a widget that KW gives us, and it's really this simple. So this is actually a very easy link to put in here. All right, so I could actually come to my design, and instead of doing your KW76423724, like that app link that some of you are used to seeing when you share your app or use it, instead, why don't I just come in here and I'll just send them to my website, right? So they can just, if they see the text, it'll say kyleh.kw.com/app, right? Save changes, and now it's filled in that little section right there, and that's it. Right now, I would need to go in and change some phone numbers, and I left some other things blank that shouldn't have been there. But that's how you customize the magazine itself. Last thing I'll show you, just on the editing portion of it. Let's say you wanted to arrange these pieces around a little bit, right? And I wanted to have the featured listing be first. I could simply come in and drag and drop that down here in this bottom tray and make that the second page. It'll reorder everything. Now, when I download it, it's in that order. Take a pause there. That was a lot of information in 15 minutes. Questions?
Yes, please. The removing the background thing, is that an app or a website? I'm sorry, I got confused.
Yep, it's a website. So the website is just simply remove.bg.
Okay.
It's kind of a crazy, it's not a .com. Yeah, that's where it throws people off. But yeah, try this out. It's kind of cool.
Okay, thank you.
And you can do.
Is it free or do you have to get an account and pay?
It's free. I've never had to pay for it. I think if you try to do multiples without logging out of the website, it tries to like prompt you to do it. But I usually come in here and do like one, and I've never had to pay. A couple other examples of that would be, what if you took a picture of your yard sign, right? With like a house in the background, you use this tool and you just cut out your yard sign. And now in the magazine, you could drop the picture of your yard sign like on a couple of the different pages. So you can get creative with that. What are the questions? Okay. I'll take the silence as everyone's okay so far. Now, next step is going to be downloading it. All right, so same tools that we always have. I'm going to call this, I'm going to name it Q1 Magazine. Right, and then I'm going to hit the download button here. So everything's auto-saving. This is a nice feature. It is auto-saving. If you need to, you can go here to File and click on Save. Okay, but that is, that's your option there. Do not hit Share. I don't want you to ever hit this button. What you're basically doing is you're sharing the project. You're not necessarily sharing the magazine. So it's a very bad experience for the consumer when you click that button. I really want you to either save it, and you can post this, depending on what kind of graphic is in designs. If it was like a postcard or a social media graphic, you can post it through command. In this case, we're going to download it. And we've got three options here: JPEG, PNG, or PDF. Right? This is a print document, basically. So it's going to be in the PDF format. It's not a picture. So I click on Get PDF. Again, this is where you can download all of it. You can download just the current page, or you can download certain pages. So that's where I was saying, if you wanted to maybe just be able to download the featured listings page, I could say, hey, just download pages 6 to 6 if it's page 6. And I'll just download that one sheet if I want to show that to somebody or use it in another capacity outside of the magazine. In this case, let's do all pages. All right. And then we can do standard or high resolution print quality. I always try to go higher, the better. If I get any sort of upload errors because the file's too big, I can back it down to the standard web quality, but I usually start here with that. And then if you're going to be getting these printed, so if you're sending these to a printer, you want to use the manual bleed. All right. I'm not going to click that because I'm going to use it in the digital format that I showed you. All right. But those are your clicks on how to download it. I'm now going to download it. I'll say start the download. And on my screen, all my downloads will go down here in this little tray in the bottom left-hand corner. So in just a second, we're going to see that go in there and get downloaded. There it is.
Kyle, so just one question. For the published setting, if it's not going to be printed, do you use like the automatic bleed?
So you're saying if it is going to be printed or is not?
If it's not, if I want to add it like on the website.
Yeah, I don't check off any of these. No checks.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I only use manual bleed if I am printing it.
Cal, can you please explain the different published settings?
Yeah, I'm not great at this. Some of this has to do with like the printer aspect of it. So use manual bleed is it's taking it to a certain level. So when they print it, it makes sure that everything that you see on your document is what prints out, right? Nothing is cut off. And so what they're saying here is the way that they've designed this graphic using what we see is the bleed line. So everything in the view is what should be printed. All right. The other one here, automatic bleed with mirroring images. I honestly, I don't know. If I said something, I'd be making up. And this is different. Every printer does it differently. Now, a really cool thing about this is they are working right now on an integration where you guys won't have to download these at all. There's going to be a fourth option up here that's going to say print, and they're working with a large company that will be able to print and mail these for you, or order flyers. So they're going to include printing capability in designs in the next quarter. All right. So for my purpose here, and what I know and what I can talk about is download all pages, high res, none of these checked off. If I'm putting it on my website, if I want it printed, right, I'm going to use the manual bleed. All right. So here it is down here. So I'm just going to open this up. All right. So here it is. This is the one that we just all kind of did together. All right. So now it's in a PDF format. There's the featured listing with the photo we just brought in. There's the note from my clients. Right. Notice I deleted out that LED specialty thing and you can't even tell, right? No one would have any idea that there was a section down here I even deleted out. So that's why I'm saying don't stress about those things if you need to do that. All right. All the way down here to the bottom. Okay. How do we get it from here to print would be you'd send this PDF file to your printer, right? They would say, what do you need printed? Send us the file. You would send them this PDF file. Right. All right, so here's what I did for my website. So now this is going to be kind of specific to this right here and kind of this experience. Notice that on my screen, you see the name of the company that I'm using right here. It's kind of weird. It's Flip Snack, FLIPSNACK. You can create 3 digital magazines, each up to 15 pages for no cost. If you want more than 15 pages, there's a cost to using it and hosting it there. If you want to make more than 3 magazines at a time, there's a cost. So I have the magazine, the buyer presentation, which is the exact same thing in designs, right? But this is the buyer presentation aspect of it. And at one point I have my listing presentation here, and they're all using the same experience that we just did. Instead of doing the magazine, I did the buyer consult, but followed the same steps. So let's go there really quickly. So I'm going to go to Flip Snack. Right here, flipsnack.com. And you do have to create an account. So more than anything, if you guys just want to watch this, instead of going through the actual creation of an account, this is very, very easy. So let me see if I did it with Google. Yes. Okay. So once you log into FlipSnack, right, let me go ahead and delete, let me delete this one so I can create a new one. So move to trash. Yes. All right. So right here, you're going to see it says Flip Books. I've got 2 of them. It says upload PDF. So this is as easy as it possibly could be. I'm going to grab that PDF of that digital magazine I just created, and I'm going to drop it into this section right here, and it's going to start to upload. Now, if you wanted to, I haven't done that, you can drag in multiple PDFs, right? So if you had your pages fractured or you wanted to use this for another application of some reason, you can bring in multiple PDFs and then it'll put it all together for one magazine. All right, so we'll let that finish publishing. There it goes. I click next. And now it's generating and creating our custom magazine. There you go. All right. Over here, a couple little things, especially where I'm having this on record. A lot of these are pro features, right? So we talked about cost. Some of these things I'm not allowed to do, right? But there are 2 free ones that I would like you to put on because I think it works better. One is show controls, meaning that I can zoom in and back, like zoom in and out on the document itself, right? So if I pull up the magazine here, okay, I think on the other one, I don't think it's on this one, but down below, if I use these controls, I can zoom in and out, all right, which I like to do, or I think it's a better experience. All right, so use show controls is one of them. There it is. There's your zoom in. And then auto flip pages. I don't do that one, right? I want the consumer to actually flip the pages as they want to go to the next page of the magazine. I kind of like this. Maybe some people don't, but flip sounds. So like you literally will see it when you try it yourself. It could, you can hear the magazine turning pages. All right. All that looks good. I don't mess with any of these colors because everything is here, but you can change the background color of your magazine where this is kind of a tealish gray, right? If you wanted to change that to be red, you could change the background of the magazine to be red. Questions on this? Fairly easy, right? All right, here's the last step. So I'm going to go to save and share. And I can call it Q1 KW Magazine. Now realize when Q2 comes out, I may not need a flip book for Q1. That's probably going to be the one I'm going to delete, right? So I can keep using the free version and I can create, number 2. So let's call it publish. And then here it is. Okay. Questions so far?
Just one question. So you mentioned when you rename it, just so if it only allows 3 magazines at a time. So by that, did you mean like you replace the older one that you had, let's say, by the newer one, right?
Yeah. So just like I can only have 3. So if I have a new magazine I want to put on Flipsnack and I don't want to pay for it, I'm going to delete an older version of one of the older version of the magazines, right? To now I only have 2, so I can now add a 3rd.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Perfect. All right. The next thing we're going to do here is we're going to go over to the KW side, and we're actually going to create this page on our website. All right. It's fairly simple. And again, this is recorded, so we will be able to post this if you have any questions. So here are the simple, easy steps of putting this on your website. Ready? I'm going to give you the click for click. Click 1 is we're going to click on the consumer applet in the bottom left-hand corner. All right. Top right-hand corner, we see a blue button that says create a new page. Click that. It's going to be on our agent website, right? So that it's right there. Now, you could also do this as a standalone page. If you want to create a landing page that was just your magazine, you could do that. I always try to link everyone into my website so that once they get there, they can go search for properties. They can go do something else. If you take someone to a landing page, that's the only thing that they get to see. There's no other links to anything else, really. So it's going to be on my agent site. Create page. And here's the trick. We have widgets up here in the right-hand side, and we have content blocks down here at the very bottom. Kind of hard to see. What we're going to do is I'm going to bring over the contact form widget because any web page I have has to have at least one widget. So I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to drop it onto the page, and it looks like that. I'm then going to come down to the content block section, and I'm going to grab the text block. Everybody see it right there? So under content blocks, text block, I'm going to pull that over into the web page that I'm building. And you see that green line there, which means it's going to go above the contact us widget. And I will release it. And then there is a text box you can see that says insert your text here in very small print. Everybody okay with dropping those two little widgets in? So here's what I have to do. This is the last step, basically. I'm going to go back to FlipSnack, right, where I just created this magazine. And over here, when I'm in my magazine, right, this is like the details for the one we just did. There is a couple tabs here, and you will see that the second one down says embed. I'm going to click embed. And if I scroll down here a little bit, right here, it's giving you embed code. Everybody see that? Here's all we have to do. Even you don't need to know anything about websites or embedding codes or HTML. Just follow me step for step. All we're doing here is copying this embed code. Going back to the little website we're creating, we're deleting the text out of this text box and we're pasting that embed code. Which means Command is going to read that not as text, they're going to read it as the magazine. So if I click off of this, there's your magazine. Okay. Now, one thing I might suggest to you, because I think I played around with this a little bit, is back on FlipSnack here. Before I click that embed code, I could change the size. Okay. So if I wanted to change this to 650, right, and make it a little bit bigger, and it really doesn't really matter. But if you wanted to do that after you change the size, you can then copy the embed code, and it might make the magazine a little bit bigger on your website. Right, so less orange space or red space, whatever that is. All right, back to Command. Once I do that, I come up here and I might call this, magazine test or magazine Q1. If you want to put it live on your website, I click Save Changes after I name it. I will say, yes, I would like to publish this page. It brings you right here, which is how you get it live on your website. So you come right to here and you can say, I want to add a new page. What page is it? The magazine test that we just created. So we just named it, right? And I'm going to call this winter or maybe spring magazine. And you can see it now. Now it is in my dropdown on my website, and it would be at one of the last positions. And I can move this up if I want. Right, so I can finish this out. So I'll call it Spring Magazine. SEO description. Save. Okay, and if I come down here, I can actually drag and drop this up. Maybe you want it higher up in that list of drop downs on your website. Put the Spring Magazine in there, it saves. And now check this out. When I get back to my website and I refresh it, come over here to the drop down, and now you have a new one, Spring Magazine. And there you go, right? That's the one that we all just kind of created together. Okay. So I know that was a bunch there, right? But creating the magazine is one part of it. Getting it on FlipSnack to me is a second part of it. And then putting that onto your website to me is a third part of it. So you may not use all three of those, but I wanted to go through them in today's class to show you how to get that end result that I had showed everybody. Questions, concerns, additions?
When will you have another training session for websites?
I'll have to look at it. So let's go here real fast.
Unless it's self-explanatory and there is a way somewhere.
It is
Okay.
not self-explanatory. To me, I'm gonna be 100% honest here. It's the clunkiest part of Command. All right, Jan knows that. We've been working on hers a little bit. My goal here for you, Andy, would be set it up and forget it for a little while, right? Like not try to go back there and change out pages all the time. The best thing to do is create pages new like we just did. If you try to launch a page and go back and edit it, that's where you start to have a lot of trouble. What I do want to do though is I do have a video, and if your website's not set up, you should go through this process, and I'll put a link here in the chat to my training video for setting up your website.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, my website is not set up.
Perfect. What else, guys? Other questions here? While I grab this. Stop my screen share for just a second. Everybody got that? No problem?
I just have a question. So you mentioned the only way is just to make it, like look bigger, like rational size compared to the website,
Mhm.
is to change the height from the flip snack, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So, and it'll be responsive. So as you change this, it'll change the width to kind of keep it in the certain direction. So just make it bigger here before you grab the embed code.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I dropped the crayon.
Sorry, I'm trying to grab that video here. Anything else? Everybody else good? All right.
This was great, Kyle.
Well, good. Glad you liked it. Thank you guys for being here on a Friday afternoon. I'll post the recording. So if you want to go back and kind of watch it a little bit slower, you can definitely do that. And let me get this in here real quick. If you guys want to jump off, let me put this link in here. I've got it now for the website. Here it is.
Kyle, are all the new recordings on your YouTube page as well?
I do host them all there. That's where I share them from. So yes, if we have actually been shooting, we have a new, not project coming out, but we have something new that we're going to try to get a little more organized with where all these videos are for you guys, which will be good. But yes, go there. All right. So let me paste this. There you go. So if anyone needs to grab that, how to launch your website page, that is the link there. Everyone enjoy your weekend and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kyle.
Sure thing.